Well, welcome again to this installment of Life at All Saints, Living in Faith Every Day. We are glad today to be joined by Mary Lou Koloff. Mary Lou, thank you for being on video with me today. And we're going to be talking about the many ways that you have been able to give and participate in ministries at All Saints, and a little bit about what motivates all that giving and participating. So I'd like to begin, as I often do, by asking people how long you've been a member at All Saints. How did you come to join and be involved at All Saints?
Well, we have been coming here for 36 years. Wow. Interesting story. My husband we were living in Buffalo, and he moved here first. And he called me and he said, I went to church. I think you're going to love this church. And I said, why? He said, I heard a woman pastor today, and it was Bishop Eaton.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what brought us here. Our children were small. We wanted to be involved. We wanted a place where our kids would grow up and be part of the church. And at that time, 36 years ago, All Saints was really growing really fast and had lots of opportunities. So yeah, 36 years.
That's wonderful. Were you all Lutheran before?
Yes. Rick is a lifelong Lutheran. I was a Methodist and became Lutheran.
Me too.
It was basically just finding the right place for us. And that's how we ended up. We were in Buffalo, we went to a Lutheran church.
Okay.
Very
good.
Small Lutheran church, and we really liked the smallness of it. But I think it was the fact that Rick was so excited that he'd come here and had heard Liz preach.
That's wonderful. You know, the ELCA has, long been known for being kind of on the forefront when it comes to who we've been able to ordain and, and women preaching. So that's wonderful. So I'd like to ask about some of the ways that you've been able to serve at All Saints, ministries, committees that you've been involved with. Kind of tell me a little bit about that.
Well, probably to start, I was the preschool director here for 26 years for All Saints Preschool. I have helped with the Welcome Table, Vacation Bible School, as a Sunday school teacher long ago. I'm on the Caring Community, the Hunger Task Force. I was a deacon at one point. Those are there's probably more, and I've just forgotten them. Oh, and I do the women's Bible study, which I love.
And you're on council.
Oh, yes. Church council, going into my 4th year.
Yes. Well, that's wonderful. I wanted to ask you about All Saints Preschool. I don't know if our members, most of them know we have a preschool within this building, but I'd like your point of view on how that began. What an important ministry it's been to the community, and just all about your involvement in it. Well,
it'll be 30-some years ago, actually, that myself and Dana Lombucker, who was a church member, we both were teaching preschool at another preschool, and our church, All Saints, didn't have a preschool, and all the other big churches in Worthington did. And we kind of talked about proposing the idea. We went to council. Council gave us $2,500 and said, go ahead and start. We were in the old section where the office is. That was the original preschool. It was one room. We had 40 kids, and it has grown from there. I think when we looked at it, we were like, gosh, we have so many young families, and we should be able to tie the church and the preschool together. And we did. Families would come to preschool, a lot of them maybe from out of town or just looking for a church home, and a lot of them would come to Sunday school.
Right.
The biggest thing that we found is that the kids in the preschool were coming to VBS. We had a huge portion of children doing that. So it was designed to be an outreach program. We added different, like having preschool chapel, so we would incorporate what All Saints does, and music, and now Lauren does the music for the preschool. So they're trying to tie things together, the preschool and the church, and there's probably other ways we can do that as well now.
Yeah. Well, and it is a wonderful aspect when you see families who only attend the preschool, then also attend Vacation Bible School, and you do kind of see that overlap. And families get excited about that there is that overlap, that it's not a standalone preschool, that it's tied to a ministry. So that's wonderful. So the next thing I kind of like to focus on, I brought this up with Melissa Wheeler. A lot of people I've observed have faith in God, attend church, but their faith seems to kind of stop at the door. It could just be because of the busyness of life and work and all that life entails. But I always find that there are people who go above and beyond, who let their faith inform how they live, what they do, how involved they get in ministry. And you're one of those people. So I kind of wanted to ask what motivates you to be one of those few that lets your faith kind of go beyond the pew and inform what you get involved with and how you give of your time and talent.
Well, I think because God wants us to be the best that we can be. And one of the things that He has taught us through the Bible is that we need to love one another and help one another. And if that's part of your life, then you can find ways to serve. And I love the community of it, being with other members of the church or being out in the community, working in the food pantry, just being with people and letting the fact that God is the center of my life show through what I'm doing. And that's important to me.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for that. So how does that giving of your time and gifts and talents, being involved, how does that deepen your faith in God?
Well, I think it makes me more purposeful. I know that it's really important to go to the Bible, to read the Bible on a regular basis. Don't always get to it, but because of the things that I'm involved in, I think that helps me. The women's Bible study has been great for me. It helps me really sit down and focus on, the different Bible lessons. And I feel that that's important, and that for me, that's what I need to do, because I know that God has good things for all of us. We all have trials and disappointments that go on in our lives, but if we can keep our eyes on Him, He will guide us through it.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Well, Mary Lou, I want to thank you for all that you do, not only on council, but participating, like you said, with the welcome table and in women's Bible studies and all that you've done for the All Saints community. So I think we'll conclude with that. But again, I want to thank you for your role as a valuable member of All Saints. And with that, we'll conclude, and thank you.